of this game getting off and underway. So here we go then, we have started. Port Vale against Sheffield Wednesday is moving. Wednesday from left to right. Sheffield Wednesday with 3 wins from their 4 away matches so far in League One this season. But Port Vale look to hit quickly as the cross just looped in from the far touchline side. Ellis Harrison sprinting away from the left of those 3 centre-halves, Reece James, but the cross in at the near post was met by a stooping David Stockdale. And as you predicted, Brian Laws, Port Vale are looking to get stuck into Sheffield Wednesday early doors.
Yes, there's already the early tackles, and as a manager, that's what you want your team to do straight away, is get the tackles in, win the first header, win the first challenge, and Port Vale have certainly done that with it.
So, throw-in on the near side to be taken by Dan Jones in his 2nd season at Vale Park. Rising in the air, the header is won. Ben Hennigan will be looking to continue as he left off against Wycombe last weekend. Bannon on the half volley clears towards the halfway line, but Port Vale come into this game as the ball is worked towards the near side. Melvin Benning. But there are plenty of yellow blockers on the edge of the box, and Ihekwe will get the clearance back upfield for Sheffield Wednesday. If you're just tuning into your football, it was Arsenal who won the North London derby. As Port Vale try and use the full width of the pitch, Brad Walker brings in Harrison over on the far side. Now jinking, twisting, turning, in goes the cross, which lands on the crossbar and bounces behind. The referee says that David Stockdale got a cut touch. He's back in his goal now saying that he didn't. Referee just wanted a quick word with Conlon, the captain of Port Vale today. Palmer, who's been in excellent form this season, now across, a fizzing one into the penalty area, just a hit and hope as the ball is teased back towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Well, the Sheffield Wednesday forwards should have been aware that Windass might try his luck. In the end, the nearest person to it was Marvin Johnson. His drag back from the touchline ended up with no one but the goalkeeper, but Wednesday are on the front foot here, looking to open the scoring. Marvin Johnson at the byline, he floats in the cross, Vaulks with the header, but in the end the downward header shifts past the keeper's post considerably to its left-hand side, 3 or 4 yards off target, but Wednesday get their first chance of the game, Brian Laws.
Yes, they did. In fact, I have to say they should have had an earlier one there. As you rightly said, it was a lovely little sweeping pass.
You probably remember him from a fairly elongated spell at Colchester. The ball is thrown into the middle of the park and Brad Walker he and Conlon come back into the central midfield in a complete change today. Bannon wins it back and just dinks it forward. There comes the charging, marauding Windass, who does shoot low, but in the end the shot skids along the surface with a little bobble of the football. He looks up, the experienced goalkeeper drills it a little longer down the middle of the pitch. Wilkes is actually beaten in the air, but the headed clearance is picked up here by Windass. Windass wide, it comes into Palmer. And Wilkes was arriving and he swung at the ball and he just couldn't make contact, and by the time the ball had missed, Smith was already on the deck and couldn't do anything about it. Palmer's there to block any counter-attack, but Port Vale now come forward with Harrison. The counter-attacking quickly. Harrison ambles to the edge of the box, then he tries to shoot, but Wednesday get back. The defensive cover is there with Hennigan getting an important block in 8 yards out on the angle. Bannon takes a loose touch before dropping it high into the penalty area, straight down the throat of Jack Stevens, who's on loan from Oxford. The keeper quickly overarm bowls it to Benning, and Benning's away. Benning down the left-hand side, prodded on to Wilson, who takes control just to evade a sliding Ben Hennigan outside the penalty area, but it's well won back by Marvin Johnson, who's covered some distance there, goodness me, on the near side. The loose ball here should be picked up by Wednesday, and now Smith, off it goes to Bannon, takes control on the edge of the box and shoots right-footed. And from the edge of the box, Barry Bannon unleashed a terrific dive that was met by a pouncing Jack Stevens, who clawed that ball away for a corner. Terrific counter-attacking from Wednesday, decent effort.
Jinked inside, but he's gone on his right foot and he's hit a good shot, but maybe not got the power.
Here's Bannon then, bending the ball in from the corner. Header from Hennigan, powerfully dealt with. Very good save again by the keeper, who this time with a one-fisted punch gets it clear. He's keeping Port Vale in it at the moment. Vaulks with the cross, a floater to the edge of the box. It gets a nick there from a Port Vale shirt. Massey should keep this one in play. He has, only briefly I suppose. He's hammered it down the far side. Well, Ben Hennigan's towering header went like a rocket towards goal.
Good solid defence of Sheffield Wednesday.
Conlon from the corner, dinking it in from the corner of the penalty area, deep into the penalty area. It will drop out to Walker, and in the end, a hurried save by the legs of David Stockdale, and Wednesday concede another corner. Now, from where we're sat, and we are quite some distance away, a Wednesday player ducked, did they possibly, as the ball bounced into the penalty area.
Utilised the long throw themselves with Vaulks.
Benning off the chest, takes control, spots a gap down the left-hand side and exploits it. Still going Benning, brings in the support that's there from Wilson, who Sheffield United fans will remember from a short loan spell there, what will seem like perhaps an age ago, scored for them too. Wide it comes to the near side, Benning with the cross deep into the box, Johnson's back there, Conlon shoots and it took a deflection. I think it was Bannon who was in the way, ball not gone out of play yet, and then, it has for a throw-in. Goals then, well, a couple of them unfortunately at the Technique Stadium that don't involve Chesterfield. Rotherham United were trailing. There's been a couple of goals at Spotland, no goals at Bramall Lane yet. So here, and no goals either, as Malik Wilks canters forward on the left. Fizzing cross! Oh, that was a brilliant cross, met by an unfortunately well-timed header from the defender inside the penalty area. To the near side, and Garrity counter-attacking, squeezing in the cross, but the run came in a little late there from James Wilson, making the catch for keeper Stockdale. Quite an interestingly easy one, and now Wilks up to the edge of the box, drops his shoulder, turns inside Jones. They're both claiming they were fouled. It's Wednesday who get the decision. As Brian alluded to, it is windy. You can see the shirts manoeuvring in the wind, but Barry Bannon is there too, and well, we know he can hit them. Forest Green Rovers, he scored goals against them, and Wickham, of course. Can he get 2 in 2? So Bannon stands over the ball to the right, steps up left-footed over the wall, and it's just wide.
Ooh.
I know, you're about to say you thought that had gone in, so did I.
Yeah.
Jack Stevens pounced to his left-hand side, and goodness me, that was close. Here's Hennigan. Wednesday have possession in and amongst their back three. Hennigan looks up now for Sheffield Wednesday. 10 yards just behind the centre circle. And down the line it goes. Bannon with a lovely control just outside the corner of the penalty area. Tees up Malik Wilks, whose shot is blocked by the defender. Out to Vaulks, who scores an absolute beauty for Sheffield Wednesday. The somersault and the pirouettes as he goes to celebrate by the corner flag. Goodness me, from 30 yards, he struck that perfectly as it arced from a central position past the diving keeper and into the top corner of the net. That is one of the goals of the season. Speaking of, well, Rob mentioned Paul Warne there, of course. Paul Warne's start as the manager of Derby County is going very well. They're leading at Cambridge by 2-0. Putting his foot through the ball, Michael Ihekwe. Wednesday leading Port Vale by 1-0 here. An absolute screamer from Will Vaulks. Good block again by Reece James. Brian Laws highlighted his performance today, and he's done well again there. Here's Patterson holding off the defender as he bends in the cross chance, maybe for Deli Bashiru, who was crowded out by the defender Will Forrester. We did mention in the first half that Stockdale had to make a pretty quick reaction save with his legs, but that's kind of frankly all he had to do. Wednesday had 2 shots well saved. They've obviously scored and lead by 1-0 as Worrell wins it back. Bends in the cross. Any goal now would be a sucker punch as the shot from Politic takes a deflection. And 8,000 Port Vale fans sense Port Vale have a corner. In it goes into the box. The header from the keeper, and Jack Stevens powers that header straight at David Stockdale, who gleefully clasps the ball, falls down on his midriff. He's not getting up from that quickly, and Wednesday still lead Port Vale by 1-0.
Well, you know, you see these now and again, don't you, these moments of madness and an excitement for Port Vale, I suppose. The goalkeeper.
And they have a throw-in over on the far side. Sheffield Wednesday on the brink of extending their unbeaten run to 4 as the referee calls full time, and 3,500 travelling Sheffield Wednesday supporters celebrate in the away end, away to our left hand side.